It's time to get some presents. These are some of the best gifts you can get your outdoor lover, but stay tuned to the end because there's one gift that I know every outdoor lover needs and it's completely free for you to give. All of them are tried and tested by me, a two-time Discovery Channel survivalist, and I'm also in grad school, which means I understand being on a budget, and bigger isn't always better. Case in point, this fantastic stocking stuffer right here. This is called a pocket bellow, and it saves your back and face from bending over the smoky fire to get it going. The best part is that this is part of a kit, and I'm giving it to my dad because he can use the ferro rod and striker to start his camp stove, as well as the little rope as a fire starter when needed. And I know he will also appreciate not needing to bend over the fire to enjoy the warmth and glow of a good camping night. Another gift you really can't go wrong with is fuel canisters for backpacking stoves. In fact, you can even get a really cheap backpacking stove attachment like the one I have here on Amazon that's linked below. This is essential for any backpacker or camper. And if you want to sweeten the load, you can also get them a dehydrated meal. Most are just around $10, or a nice lightweight titanium spork to eat it with. If you want to be real sweet, get all three together. And it'll be like you're helping them cook a meal in the great outdoors. They are going to need something to cook in though, which is why this solo cook kit is a great gift. As you can see, I've had this one for well over 8 years, if not a decade, and the stove and the fuel fit inside perfectly with my spork. But if the person you're giving the gift to is really into lightweight or just like really into nature, stay tuned for a different stove in a later section that they are gonna love. It's honestly one of my new obsessions. Another great gift is Castile soap. You can use it for body, hand washing, and dishes. I always bring a little jar. Ah, I'm bleeding! Okay, this is ketchup, but it does make a point about my next gift. Also, pro tip, when you go to the gas station or any to-go place, grab extra condiment packets because they are great for backpacking and camping. Well, I didn't want that. This is also a very underestimated gift, and you can get really lightweight ones like this, or you can get more hardy ones. For the med kit, I really encourage you to think about how your loved one likes to experience the outdoors. If they're a backpacker who's doing a lot of miles, you want to get an ultralight one like this. No matter what, you honestly can't go wrong with one of these. They're really small, but they have everything you need. But ask anyone who spends a lot of time outdoors and they'll tell you it's actually the small stuff that gets you, like bugs, which is why this is the next gift suggestion. Bug repellent is a small thing that makes a big difference, just like the ability to warm up your hands and feet on a cold night. I like magic. This could save their life, as could this. And as you can see, I've never actually even had to open this one, but having it with me has been a major, major lifesaver. Whether you get a little generic one or this one, which is a brand I highly recommend, this could literally save your loved one's life. Okay, on to the next gift. Oh. You honestly can't go wrong with buying someone a high quality compass. Just make sure they know how to use it, because this is an example of a gift that's really great only if you know how to use it, which is why I cannot emphasize enough getting someone a class, whether it's basic survival or first aid or something like compass navigation from an expert, is an incredible experiential gift. And you can even do it with them, which will tie in with the best gift of all, which I'm sharing at the end. Now, odds are if you're watching this video, aside from loving your person who goes outdoors, you've probably also worried about them sometimes. You can give these next gifts to keep them safe, and not in a boring way. Safety is actually the foundation of fun. Speaking of fun, this tiny little knife by Opinel is actually one of my absolute favorites. This is such a good brand. I can bring this everywhere. I make little figure 4 traps with it. I use it to cut my snacks. It's tiny. I've had this one a super long time. You can see it in the description below. But if you want to get them something a little more practical, go for the Mora Companion. This is not a full tang knife, but honestly, I've never needed it to be. It tastes like a plant. This is one of the best knives. If you've seen my other videos, you know I love this. If you go on Reddit, if you look at anything online, people love this knife, and it's so affordable. Plus, if your loved one is carrying this around, they kind of just look like they know what they're doing a bit more, because look how cool this is. Yeah, baby.
Up next in the gifts that could save your loved one's life is guides and maps.
The great thing about guides like this and maps is that when your loved one uses them, they're going to be thinking of you. With maps, you'll be with them every step of the journey. And with these guides, you're going to be part of them discovering new plants, new medicinal things, new foraging, and it's honestly so fun. What I love about like the plant guides in particular is there's such a wholesome way to connect with nature, and anybody can do it as long as they're physically able to be outdoors. Plus, when you get into edible and medicinal plants, a lot of times I find people bring the plants back to me, they share stories, and I get to try new teas, new fruits, and new medicinal plants, which is like super fun. Plus, it could save their life. And if those guides are too much, don't underestimate the value of a tiny postcard like this. My sister and brother-in-law got me this one, and it's honestly come with me, as you can tell, on pretty much every hike. I love tracking animals and learning what's around me. And this was probably $1.
And tracking animals and tracking yourself are a very important part of being in nature, which is why for those of you who know the channel know I love a tiny trail notebook. It's truly the gift that helps your loved one connect with themselves when they're outside, which is one of the best parts of being outside. Kinda like having a nice cup of tea by the campfire. These classic camping mugs are just so iconic of a weekend outdoors, and everybody I know who's outdoorsy has so many memories of them with their kids, with their parents, with their friends. They're just such a good thing to sit around the fire with. Almost as good as this guy.
Don't forget, the best gift you can give is the one I'm going to tell you at the end, and it's also the easiest gift to give.
And believe it or not, every gift you've seen until this one has been under $25. Starting us off in this price category is the JBL Clip 3. It is a completely waterproof Bluetooth speaker that clips, as the name implies, and can also plug into whatchamacallit cable. You know, the little one. You get the control buttons, you get the power buttons, you get all the normal buttons.
While I'm in this position, that reminds me of two of the most underrated gifts you could give a person. Number one is a poop trowel, aka the deuce, the poop scoop. Don't worry, that is dirt, not poop. The other is wool socks. Dude, I cannot tell you how underrated these are. These are so important. You can use them for survival. They could actually be fire starter. They help. They're the best. And this guy, while it's not as warm, it is gonna make a big difference in their camping experience. If you get them this shovel for their number 2, you might become number 1 on their gift list. Where did these jokes come from?
And I'm not kidding about how much people really want wool socks. Look at this upvote on Reddit.
And before you ditch this video to go check Reddit, because I did, let me tell you, I checked all the sources aside from using my own experience to make this list. And even if you were to go check online and all the lists, I guarantee you would still find this guy. And if your person's gonna be picky about full tang, just get them the more expensive one, which I'll link below, that is full tang.
And while I'm saying cheesy lines, I might as well tell you to light up your loved one's life with the Luminade inflatable lanterns. These were actually on Shark Tank, and I can see why. They are some of my favorite. They come in 2 sizes. They come in warm white or alternating colors, and they hang on my branches on my tent, and they fold up really nicely for packing. Plus, they're solar, which means there's gonna be light all night. And to stay warm and cozy, you need
dry bags. So important. Everybody needs these. This is Sea to Summit. It's an 8-liter. It is my absolute favorite.
I use this to keep my down sleeping bag dry, or I'll put food in it that I don't want to leak or smell too much. You can also hang it. It's super lightweight, super accessible, and it comes in really fun colors.
But of course, everything on this list needs a place to go. And when you're out here, ow, God, that's pokey. But of course, everything on this list needs a place to go. And I don't know if you noticed, when you're out here in nature, not a lot of tables, which is why this guy is on the list. I actually just got this after being tired of squatting on the ground. This is a collapsible table. It weighs almost nothing. It's so cheap, and it is the perfect size for a lightweight camping accessory.
It just snaps into place, and it actually fit my entire Feast 4 kit from Fire Maple, which brings us into the $50 price range. Normally, what you're looking at now is around $60, but as a friend of the channel, you get a discount along with their Black Friday sale, bringing this down to $51. My favorite feature of this is the click handles. If you've ever cooked food over a campfire, you know that a flimsy handle is your nemesis. And so these are really sturdy, and I love how everything nests together so nicely. Of course, it all comes with a nice draw bag, and I went ahead and splurged to get myself the Fortress Cook Stove as well, which is the one I was referencing earlier in the video if you have someone who's really outdoorsy or likes cool stuff. Aside from being really pretty and very novel, this is actually a very practical stove because you can use it for alcohol, or you can make a tiny cooking fire inside of it, which I just love because it's like a little campfire cookout in the safety of your Fortress stove by Fire Maple. And of course, all their cookware fits perfectly on it, and all of them fit perfectly together in the Feast 4 bag. And don't forget, you get a 10% discount for being a friend of the channel, so use the links below.
I really took my time on this section to think about the best use of your money that is really gonna make your person excited about the gift. And that's really hard to do with gear, because once you get over the $50 price range, people know what they want. And if you don't know what that is, you're wasting your money. So that is why I highly recommend you get them something experiential or educational. I mean things like books, maps, state park passes, national park passes, DCR passes, a gift certificate to REI, to backcountry gear. But I really recommend these books in the description below. They're ones that could save your life, that are very practical. Other option in this price range, which I think is best, is to mix and match other items that add up to this. Instead of just getting them a poop trowel, get them a poop trowel and some Dr. Bronner's and some really nice wipes and a postcard, and make some joke about keeping their hands clean and showering before they come home. Everything I've listed in this video is linked below, and they're actually all on Amazon, so you can get them quickly. But I want to remind you of the best gift you could possibly give anyone you care about. Never underestimate the value of quality time, especially out here in the great outdoors. You're gonna have incredible stories, you're gonna have inside jokes and memories that you share and celebrate together for the rest of your lives. So use the links below, maybe get some for yourself, because I know you like to get a little treat yourself, and go have some fun with your friends and family. Happy trails!